Hey guys, call me Cumshot here, and today's an unscripted video. It is currently 12:31 a.m. and I decided to just hit record, talk about whatever I want to talk about, and the topic of today's video is do not start smoking. I started smoking when I found out that my bandmate Thomas Carabin was a pedophile, and I needed something to relieve the stress. I stole some of my mother's cigarettes, not too proud to admit that, and it led to where I currently have 7 vapes sitting on my desk because the thought of running out of nicotine makes me go crazy now. I have lost my voice twice from smoking, and I often get a rasp behind it now. It doesn't, I guess I shouldn't say often, but it appears every now and then. I used to be able to rap to songs like Lil Darky's music, Tara Reid, even Tom McDonald, which a lot of people hate Tom McDonald. I like his music. If you want to hate me for that, hate me for it. If you want to call me racist for it, call me racist for it. I really don't give a shit. I enjoy it. But it's to the point where I can only get halfway through a verse now and I'm out of breath. I start walking down the street, I get out of breath. I do anything, I'm out of breath immediately. I feel vape juice in the back of my throat 24/7. It's not a nice feeling. You'll often hear the little stuff like that in my videos. That's me trying to clear my throat of the fucking vape juice. Because it's just lingering in there. It won't go away. The feeling never leaves. Like when you do that, it goes away for like 15 seconds and then it just comes back. But once you start smoking, it's hard to quit. I've tried to quit a few times now. I made it 2 days, then 4, and then 6. If the pattern continues next time I try to quit, I'll probably make 8 days, and then 10, 12. But that's only if the pattern continues as it has been. 3 times is a pattern, and if it's +2 each time, there will be a time where I can at least get to the 63 days to break the habit. And that's because it takes 63 days approximately to make or break a habit within your brain. It's something to do with the neurons or the synapses. I don't know the scientific shit. I'm not a scientist. I'm a fucking musician. But it is one of the worst things that you can do. It's $35 for a vape and they last like 4 days, right? So let's do the math, because I think I spent $280 a month on vapes. That's like all my free cash because my job only gives me like 3 shifts a week. So I make and they're like 4-hour shifts. So 12 times 17.60 times 1.04 for vacation pay times 0.78. That's like $170 a pay. Actually, it's usually less than that. I get like $120 to $150. So this is being charitable because I have smoke breaks. I usually take 1 to 2 per shift for 5 minutes. Yeah, so we times that by 2 and we've got 342, okay? So we have 342 spare change for 28 hours work. Now, I have a second job now, and it's gonna be giving me 24 hours a week, they said. So once I start, I'll be getting, more money. That's gonna be very nice. I can actually save up. But $35 per vape. Each vape lasts 4 days. So 30 divided by 4 is 7.5. So that's 8 vapes. 8 times 35, that's 280. So let's do that. 342 minus 280. I'm left with $62 a month. $62 a month in free cash. That's pathetic because I go through that immediately. I'm lucky enough that I'm on disability, not only because I was hit by a truck, not only for the multiple head injuries, but for my mental health as well, because I have autism, ADHD, BPD, and they don't know if I have schizophrenia or if the hallucinations are from the BPD because they can come with it. But schizophrenia runs in the family, so it wouldn't really surprise me. I've had episodes where I've sworn to God that Valen or Lio or even Carmen Ryder have been talking to me telepathically. When those episodes happen, they feel real, and I have to remind myself, this is not real. This is not real in the slightest. I'll hear my dead grandma talking to me from beyond the grave, and it's... What is this video becoming? Anyways, smoking after the first 2 weeks, that buzz goes away, but the craving is there. And smoking is a double whammy because you're not only addicted to the nicotine, you're addicted to the habit of the hand and mouth motion. Because your brain recognizes that with dopamine releases, because you grab it, put it to your mouth, you inhale, you exhale, and within seconds that nicotine reaches your brain. It destroys your reward system. If I make music or I work without smoking, I can't do it anymore. Days where I am told I'm not allowed to have a smoke break, I will purposefully put in as little effort as I can because I don't see a point of work. It's like, why am I even here? And that's pretty shit to admit. Not working as hard as I should at my job, but the days where I get a smoke break, I am yes, let's work. Let's put all my effort into this. I know I'm getting my smoke break. Let's do everything I can. And that's something that I know I do. It's something that I've recognized. And while it's something I need to work on, I don't know if I can. Because as soon as I'm denied my sweet, sweet nicotine, which does nothing anymore except for, give me a nice flavor, except for the times where I'm out and I have to use cigarettes and I want to kill myself. It does nothing. It's not even like getting high. You get lightheaded for like 5 minutes when you first start. It's that lightheaded feeling that you get addicted to. At least with weed, you actually get high and it lasts for like 2 hours. At least with magic mushrooms, it lasts like 6 hours. With nicotine, I'm gonna be real with you, it lasts for 5 minutes. That high lasts 5 fucking minutes when you first start. And that high just evaporates entirely. The only way I know to really quit smoking is to quit cold turkey. But here's the hard part. I'm an adult now. Why is that a hard part? I make my own money. I make my own decisions with my own money. And when I run out of nicotine, what do you think I'm gonna buy? What do you think I'm gonna buy over food, over clothes? Sometimes over internet. It's nicotine. That is the first thing. Every time I make a budget, I always include nicotine. I've looked through all my budgets for the last year that I've made. I always make new ones every month. And each and every single one of them included nicotine at the very top after my necessities. I didn't even realize I was doing that. I thought, some of them I wouldn't have nicotine, some of them I'd have it maybe near the bottom. No, it was like right at the fucking top. Every single time. And that kind of worries me because I didn't realize that it was, that bad. And nicotine is the most, if not one of the most addictive substances in the world and the hardest to quit. I have quit marijuana. I have quit cocaine. I have quit alcohol. I have quit magic mushrooms. But I can't quit nicotine, no matter how hard I've tried. I get to the point of the headaches and then I have to go back to it. At least with cocaine, it was too expensive to continue. At least with marijuana, it made my heart fuck up. So I couldn't keep using it. I had to actually quit medically. At least with magic mushrooms, again, it's too expensive to continue. And at least with alcohol, I don't like the feeling of being drunk. Nicotine doesn't change anything though, except it's damaging my lungs and potentially my heart. And they've also been doing new studies to show that it can actually damage your brain, which is amazing. So that is I don't know if that's fake, I don't know if that's real, the damage to the brain from vaping, but it's apparently a thing. And it changes the decisions that you would typically make. It changes your behavior as well. If you go like 4 or 5 hours without a cigarette, you're jonesing. Like you're sweating sometimes. You're anxious and or paranoid. You're angry. You have mood swings. It's like being on menopause, essentially. You're essentially on menopause if you go too long without that sweet, sweet hit of your lovely nectar. And unlike other drugs, you're unable to go to rehab for it. If you go to a rehab center and you say, hey, I need to quit smoking, you're not getting in. If you go and you're on meth or heroin or anything, they'll let you in and they'll keep you for a few weeks to a few months and then you're off on your own. With nicotine, they don't do that. So it's really up to you as an individual to get off it and to get clean yourself. Now, there is Narcotics Anonymous, which I highly recommend to people. You can hear the stories of people, I shouldn't say stories, you can hear the life experiences of people who have lost everything, right? And if that, again, we'll go back to the money, right? Say 280 times 12. I'm spending over $3,000 a year in nicotine. I'm spending $3,360 in nicotine. That may not seem like a lot, but it is a lot. With that money, I could have saved up and bought Metropolis Arc 1, made my orchestral music so much better. I could have saved up and got a new GPU so I can actually properly edit my videos. I could have bought new clothes. I haven't bought myself clothes in 2 or 3 years. I've been wearing the same ones, and they get torn and dirty and ruined. I have 1 pair of pants, aside from my work pants, and I have 3 pairs of shorts. I have a lot of shirts, but I have 3 pairs of shorts, 1 pair of pants, and 1 pair of work pants. That's all I got. And I literally can't afford any right now. I have $2 to my name. I have, I think, $2.06 as somebody who gets money from disability and has a job. Now again, I pay rent, I pay groceries, I pay internet, I pay bills. That's part of being an adult, that's part of being a grown-up. But I have a job on top of that. And all my money from my job goes into fucking geek bars every single time. Every Friday that I get paid, it's up to res, it's buying geek bars, and that's probably going to be it for the rest of my life. I'm probably not going to get off this. If you smoke, I genuinely would recommend vaping over cigarettes. It's more enjoyable and is less damaging to your body. However, it is much more expensive in the long run. If you do not smoke, do not start. Do not try a cigarette just to know what it feels like. Do not hit a vape just to know what it feels like, because that is all it takes to get you hooked. That's all it took to get me hooked. Well, I guess technically I wasn't trying it for what it feels like. I was trying to do anything to relieve the stress of finding out that my bandmate was a pedophile. And realistically, I should not have done that when I found out. But you know what? In the end, I am glad that I found out he was a pedophile. Not only so I can inform others and keep others safe, but because it got me off of drugs. Because I went on the largest drug binge I've ever been on in my life that day. I downed 3 bottles of alcohol. One of them was 17%, one of them was 42%, and I forget the percentage of the third one, but it was over 30. I downed those in less than an hour. I took, I believe, 14 grams of magic mushrooms. I took 8 rips of my bong, large bowls, mind you, and then I had 3 cigarettes. And I had all of those in the span of I don't know how long. And then I was so fucked up, I was like, no, this is a dream. This has to be a dream. And then I vented to Zexio, and I'm like, I still care for Tommy, but I don't know what he's doing, and blah, 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 blah. And it's like, oh my God. But after that vent, I was like, I reread it, and I was like, I wish I'd never fucking even wrote that. I wish I'd never taken these drugs. I wish I'd never done this or that. So I've been clean for 6 or 7 months now, and yeah. I guess in the end, if I had to choose though, I would rather keep smoking than keep being on other drugs. But that being said, I would rather be clean. And I don't know, this is just a little rant video. Just don't start smoking, please. It ruins your health, it ruins your wallet, it helps to ruin your life. Because again, as I said, let's go back to that money. Well, times it by 10 years, right? 10 years. That's $33,000 gone. $33,500 actually gone in vaping. Imagine how much you could save if you didn't smoke, if you already do smoke. That could set you for life. This is why I don't do unscripted, well, I always do unscripted videos because I can't fucking edit, but that'll change one day. That'll change one day. But yeah, I guess peace. This is probably one of my worst videos, but you know, it is what it is. Not every video can be a banger, not every video can be a hit or good even, or decent for that matter. But I do want to make a promise to you guys. I'll make this promise later on. I do promise to quit smoking. I don't know if I can do it before I hit 4,000 tracks entirely, but I'm going to try to quit before 5,000 tracks. What I want to do is take 2 weeks off of work from both jobs in either July 2026 or July 2027 and throw any vapes I have at that time. Take 2 weeks off music, just lay in bed and vegetate, because I know I'm going to need it when the time comes. I think what really got me to start smoking again after the times I tried quitting, funnily enough, is that I was working while I was trying to quit. Because I'd get stressed at work and I'd be like, I need to smoke, I need to smoke, I need to smoke. Or I need a vape, I need a vape, I need a vape. When I was at home, I was usually fine up until the headaches kicked in. Then, you know, I ran right to the nicotine. But I'm thinking, you know, if I can just take 2 weeks to relax, 2 weeks off everything, you know, no stress, no worries, I should be fine. And yeah, I promise to get off smoking by 5,000 tracks. I'm currently at 3,236 as I record this. And I'm gonna record the process when I start. And every little time I feel a craving or I feel anything, I'll let you guys know about it. Because, like, you guys are a great audience. You know, I don't have a big audience, but I have a great audience. I know if I need to talk about something that I'll get a little bit of engagement, I'll get some encouragement, I'll get helpful tips on how to quit smoking. And maybe, you know, if I make a video where I quit smoking, maybe I can help encourage at least one other person to stop.